the land of the free and the home of the brave. I'm a proud American from my birth to the grave. 47 is the dog, took a bullet for all. Didn't flinch, didn't run, still he answered the call. And we say, be tight, be tight, be tight. Officer Tatum show. Be tight, be tight, be tight. Officer Tatum show.
Ladies and gentlemen, ladies, welcome back to the Officer Tatum Show. You guys know over the weekend, I think it was a kerfuffle of some sort with Elon Musk, Vivek Ramaswamy, and other people in the conservative movement having an argument over the H-1B visa. Now, let me just say this because we got Don Lemon, and I'm going to play his clip here in a second because he's absolutely nuts. The fact that he laying on top of a man every night is already nuts in and of itself. But he has to jump on the MAGA movement and call us stupid and dumb and ignorant and that we've been co-opted. Let me just give you a basic principle. Although conservatives disagree with Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy, we're disagreeing for the love of the country. I think, and this is my personal opinion, that Elon Musk, Vivek Ramaswamy loves America. But they're looking at America on a global level. Other people who disagree with them, in part, loves America, but they're looking at America on a local level, on a national level. And that's the difference. All of us love America. All of us want what's best for America. These leftists, they hate America. So we're not even having a conversation with them. I want to make this very clear. I made a video before about the H-1B visa and my stance on it. I think the H-1B visa is a good thing as long as it does not disenfranchise American workers who are equally qualified or more qualified than people who have a visa from another country. The priority is the efforts, talents of people who live here in America. Unfortunately, and this conservatives should understand this, know this, because we've been saying this for years. Our educational institutions aren't always producing the best results. Especially in cases where they're so goddamn woke that you can't even reason with half of them. They'll tell you what a transgender is, but they don't understand math. And that's more on a pre-college level. But even in college, they're stupider than I don't know what. They're just taking people's money and dishing out the next generation of people who cannot think for themselves, wearing masks every day. So we have to be honest. We are producing idiots to a certain degree. But the biggest thing that makes people mad about what Elon Musk said and Vivek Ramaswamy said is that it's the whole concept of, I can talk about my mama, but you better not talk about my mama. I could say my cousin lazy every day of the week, and my cousin lazy, and she don't take care of her kids, and she eat too much, green eggs and ham. I can say that as long as I want. You talk about my cousin, we got a problem. We know America, to a certain degree, do not produce like we used to, and America is dumbified to a certain degree. And we know that other countries, in some cases, are producing better quality people. In some cases. I'm not talking about generally speaking, because generally speaking, we'll whoop anybody, anytime, any place. But in some of these specialized fields, some other countries are producing better quality people. Sometimes. But the problem is you don't want to hear Vivek Ramaswamy, who's an Indian, and you don't want to hear the richest African-American in the world, Elon Musk. You don't want to hear them talk trash about America. I don't want to hear you tell me that we don't produce good quality people. I don't want an Indian to tell me that their culture is better than ours because we looked at India and they pooping in the street. Y'all may got some people up here, but the rest of them all the way down, y'all ain't doing well. All you gotta do is go to India. The stench of poo in the air will tell you everything you need to know about major parts of India. It's in many parts a third world country. So don't come and lecture us and you want to challenge culture. America's going to have a problem with it. I will say this. I think that Vivek Ramaswamy, in good faith, means well. I think they're just trying to stand up for H-1B visas. I think there's some people in the conservative movement that want to do away with H-1B visas completely. And I think that that's not the proper approach. Elon Musk as well. He said he was an H-1B visa. Look at what he's contributed to America. So I do believe in the sentiment of not completely getting rid of it. But we do have to acknowledge that there's fraud in the system, and let's eliminate the fraud. Let's cut down on the fraud. Let's make sure it's not disenfranchising American citizens, and I think nobody should have a problem. Nick and Dylan, we were talking a minute ago, and they made a good analogy of recruiting. We are performing on a global level. We're not performing on a local level. We're performing against a global powers. China, Russia, some of these other places. And so when we go to recruit, are we just going to be an in-state recruiter or what? We're just going to recruit in-state. Okay, you can do that. You be good. University of Texas is good, just recruiting in Texas. But when you have the number one player in the nation, you have the number one player in the world in this particular position, you may want to bring him in. Can we just be honest? Anybody know anything about recruiting? University of Arizona, Arizona State, right here in my state. Are all of their athletes from Arizona? No, they're not. Are there some great athletes in Arizona? Yes. But some states like Georgia, Texas, Florida, their upper echelon athletes are pretty darn good. So how about we go get a few other people from out of the state to make us a powerhouse in this state? How about we go get a few people from out of the country that are upper echelon and bring them in? Now, I wasn't born yesterday, so I know that H-1B visa, that's not all the H-1B visas, right? There's 65,000 of them for bachelor's degrees, and then, and higher, and then master's degree and higher is 20,000 H-1B visas. There ain't that many H-1B visas that are better than Americans, I don't think. People do manipulate the system in case you just woke up yesterday. These organizations have the visas. They bring in people and get cheap labor. They don't care that you got a bachelor's degree from Indian Tukamasala University. They don't care. Tikka Masala University, man. I don't know if that count, bro. You can't be getting a degree from Afghani Head Wrap University, you know what I mean, and say, oh, I got a bachelor's degree, I'm gonna come to America. Like, hey, y'all really got universities out there doing something? Now, I'm just joking to a certain degree. I'm sure they got good quality universities in India. But I'm saying, generally speaking, you think all these H-1B visa people got a legitimate degree? Probably not. They just get a piece of paper, somebody paid enough money to give them credentials, and then they come over here with a bachelor's degree. We get it. Just cut down on the waste. Now, let me get to Don Lemonhead. Because Mr. Don Lemonhead, for some reason, look at the grin. Look at that grin. For some reason, after he been getting his head whooped all year long, he had to start his own network, and he be getting whooped in the streets every time he interviews somebody. But all of a sudden, he think he has an upper hand or an advantage over the MAGA people. And he couldn't be more wrong. Let me play what he said in bashing conservatives in this fictitious war against Elon Musk and Vivek. This is temporary family member feud. They hope to God this is the end of the MAGA movement. It's not. It's a family feud. We're going to get over this soon. Roll the clip.
Finding out, you dumb idiots. Now you're just figuring this shit out. You're so fucking stupid and you deserve it. You deserve it because you're so dumb. Jim, it's hypocrisy. So go with me here. yes, I am gloating over your stupidity and how you were taken. I'm cackling in Kamala, says in Shanta. You have been co-opted because you're in a cult and you don't even realize it because you have stupid MAGA brain and you don't get it. How stupid and dumb are you? And I'm just going to I can't wait to go through this. Okay. So I'm going to read this again. So Krishnan's appointment triggered an anti-Indian backlash on social media, particularly given his past advocacy for increasing green cards and immigration broadly. Oh no, immigration. We can't do the immigration because it's hot in here, guys. All right. Woo! Thank you.
No. You know why you hot, Don Lemon? Because you laying up with that man every night. That's why you hot. That's why it's hot up in there. You starting to get a prelude to what's going to happen to you when you gone. I'm joking. I don't know where he going when he die. I can guess, but maybe you can guess too. But I'm joking with him because I don't like the way he talking to conservatives. I don't like the way he gloating like this and acting like he really know what he's talking about. This is a family feud, brother. You stay out of it. And in the fashion of gay emotional men, this is his reaction. Cussing and acting silly. All emotional over a disagreement with immigration, H-1B visas, and green cards. But to leave it to the gay man, he got to be and catty. You got to be catty. Be a man and have an argument and not cussing and being catty. Roll the clip.
Immigration, because, the immigration, it triggers some people. You know what they're saying about the anti-immigrant stuff, right? Who's in to say that one of the jobs you might be seeking won't be one of those white jobs? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
I think I just threw up in my mouth at the end of that. I don't get what he said. Did y'all get what he said? It's a white job. Or is he making fun of the fact that Donald Trump said black jobs? Is that what he's saying? Because Stevie Wonder can see that there are such things called black jobs, meaning jobs that historically black people would have. And then they don't have it no more because the illegal aliens that took your job. Now y'all crying in the street for your savior, the Democrat Party, and they just selling y'all down the river. And Don Lemonhead don't understand that it's okay to disagree about immigration because at the end of the day, we going in the same direction. You would think that a person who came from a family of immigrants would be endorsing more immigrants. That makes sense. I understand what Vivek is saying. America first, but I get it. Why wouldn't he want more good quality people that can escape the hellhole that they're involved in or that they live in to come to America and make America better? That's the whole crux of this argument that we've been having. It's about making America better. Are people going to come to America and make this country better? That's why I believe in merit-based immigration. We didn't done enough of people coming here taking from the system and taking and taking and taking and taking and using and taking and using and borrowing and killing and stealing and thugging and doing all that. We didn't have enough of them. If you cannot come here and contribute, you don't need to be here. You don't come here and get on the government dole and take my tax dollars. If you come here, you should come here to contribute. You don't come here to be a victim class, to be a impoverished class, to be eating out of trash cans and committing crimes. You come here to be a participating member in society, and you come here to assimilate. If you don't assimilate in America, take your home. We don't want you here. This is a melting pot of assimilated people from all over the world. It's not a stir fry, like my guy said last time in the live stream. It's not a stir fry. It ain't you, this group, that group, this group, on top of that group, on top of that group, and you like that group better than that. No. We all in this together, and you're an assimilated American. If you can't assimilate, take your back to Mexico, France. I don't know where you came from, Canada. I don't care where you come from. And to be honest, you ain't got to go home. You just got to get up out of here. That's all it is. You ain't got to go home. I don't know where your home at. You could go detour, but you got to get up out of America if you don't want to assimilate. So I get it. Immigrants believe in immigration. Americans who are here don't want to get replaced by immigrants. Two things can occur at the same time. Allow there to not be fraud that disenfranchise Americans. And Americans, you need to step your game up. I'm in the business of hiring people. I hire people all the time. Some young people don't want to work. Let's keep it honest. And this is not the H-1B visa argument necessarily, but some young people don't want to work. They get too complacent. They think they're entitled. Somebody owed them something. They got all kind of problems. Oh, my neck hurt, my back hurt. I'm tired. I'm sick. I don't want to come to work today. What? You don't miss work unless you sick. You got to come and show up. You don't say, "Oh, my toe hurt today. I can't come to work," and then don't even call in. Just don't show up. Then when you come looking for them, then they tell you, "Oh, I forgot I was hurt." You must don't want a job. And people stealing at the job. I had a kid steal the other day. What you stealing for, man? You could just ask me if you need something. You stealing. Now I got to fire you. Now, you go get somebody from overseas, or you get one of these people coming in from they seem to want it more. I'm just being honest, man. I remember this story, then I'm going to get to some more news. I remember you can't find an American about anywhere. And I don't know if it's because we got all these illegals or not, but you can barely find an American that they got too many stipulations. Hey, man, can you come cut this? I need my trees cut down. Can you come? Oh, I'll do this. Oh, the price is this. And I can do it. Man, that Mexican guy came over there, didn't even say nothing to me. That's all he say. Jumping from tree to tree, palm tree. I saw that man jump from this palm tree to that palm tree, and I almost had a heart attack. But, man, he did every palm tree by himself, and we gave him the money. Here you go. He ain't complained one time. I'm like, hey, bro, you need some water or something? No. He's just up there killing them. Tree. He came to my house, couldn't even speak English. His son had to talk to me. His son was like 8. I'm like, what are y'all doing? My dad want to do your trees. I'm like, let me talk to your dad. And then he looking like he's seeing ghosts or something. Looking around like this. I'm like, hey, tell your daddy how much he want for to do these trees. Oh, he want 200. I'm like, 200? 200? You 200 for these trees? See. He was back there climbing up that thing. I appreciate that, man. You can get American, they be complaining. I ain't get no water. They fall and try to sue you and all kind of stuff. I'm not saying every American is like that, but I'm saying you get that a lot. They want too much. They don't believe in working hard like our ancestors. I remember my grandfather used to tell me how when he worked at the grocery store, they didn't have calculators. So he had to run everybody's stuff, do taxes and everything that he had to do, coupons and everything. He had to do it on a piece of paper. He used to have to write it down. Now they can't do math. They got the computer that tell you how much change you supposed to give back to me, and you still can't get it right. Grandpa used to write it down. 5 plus 5 plus 15 times 20% off. Taxes in the state is that plus this minus this, ma'am, you need this, and they count your money back. Oh, you gave me a 20? Go, I dare you to go give a kid a $20 bill right now. Just say your stuff is like $14, give them a 20. $14.49, give them a 20. They brain gonna start popping. They put in the computer tell them it's how much money you give them back. They can't figure it out. Taking out work, they sick, they want a disability, unemployment. They got all these stuff going on. Anyway, I've said enough. I think you understand where I'm coming from. Let's get to some more nitty gritty. I almost said something and it was going to be a cuss word. It rhymed with nitty gritty. But anyway, let's get to some more stuff. Black liberals are raging over black college ban accepting invitation to perform during Trump's inauguration. Now, shout out to this HBCU, Mississippi Valley State University, which is a historical black college and university, is what they categorized as. That's what HBCU mean. And let me just read a couple things here. It says that they have financial challenges in their fundraising. It says to cover expenses for the trip, the band launched a GoFundMe campaign seeking $350,000 for travel, accommodations, and meals. Initially, the campaign raised only $1,200 in 2 days, but later gained momentum, reaching over $45,000. The fundraiser goal was subsequently adjusted to $70,000. Now, this is why HBCU. Let me say, this is my complaint against black people. Y'all know I got many of them. and I can do it because I'm black. We complain day and night about the white man. We have that clip. Pull that clip over there for me real quick, Nick. I'll get to it in a second. But we complain every night and every day we wake up. In the confession booth at the Catholic Church, we complain. We complain at the throne, at the feet of Jesus about the white man. White man they never give us, they don't do nothing for the black. They hold us down. They doing, a historical black college university can't even get $1,200 to go and do the inauguration band performance. Where y'all at? Where y'all at supporting your own university and colleges? Now, that's one thing. They should have enough money. You would never see, I don't know, Wisconsin marching band. They don't have to do none of that. They have their funds lined up in a row like they ought to be. But somehow this HBCU don't have enough money to get their band to the inauguration. In addition to that, some people may say, Brandon, it's because black people don't want to support them going and seeing the Orange Man. Well, here's an example of how primitive the black brain can be at times. The inauguration is a historical availability or a historical moment that gives or makes available an opportunity to showcase a historical black college or university by way of their marching band. It's almost advertisement for that school and their talents and abilities. It's not about the white man. It's about an opportunity for you to go and perform in a historic inauguration. But instead of thinking of it like that, thinking about marketing, thinking about, look, I don't care who the president, we're going to go and shine because we've been invited, and it's going to make us look good. It's going to recruit for our marketing, recruiting for our marching band, all of that. But instead, the primitive melanated brain, and not everybody like this, but this is an example of how bad it can be. Listen to what this fool had to say about Mississippi Valley State getting invited. Roll the clip.
Mississippi Valley State University Marching Band, step to the front, because I heard that you all were invited to Inauguration Day. So go hang out with the Orange Menace on January 20th, and you have a GoFundMe to raise money. The Mississippi Valley State University Band has been invited to perform during the presidential inauguration parade in January. The Mean Green Marching Machine from Mississippi Valley State University has been invited to Washington, D.C. for the 60th presidential inauguration parade. Help us raise $350,000 to make this historic moment a reality. They've got a GoFundMe, and they've got a link for more information. Never mind as Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King's holiday weekend to commemorate his birthday. Never mind that Orange Menace Mussolini is doing everything he can to dismantle the Department of Education, to dismantle diversity, equity, and inclusion programs, to dismantle Black and Brown scholarship programs, and to dismantle funding for HBCUs, which you are one of. Now, I love black children. I love black people. I love my HBCUs. But y'all are really going to go perform on Dr. King weekend for that Orange Menace at the 60th inauguration parade? Really? That's what we doing?
Mississippi Valley Tech or University, do your own research business. This is a synopsis, okay? Don't follow me blindly. So they got invited and they accepted it. I would like to speak to the band, motherfucking manager B, because, who goes there? Racism. That's who. So I guess you could change your name to what? Separate and Segregation Band, Apartheid Acapella Band, the Segregated Steppers. Call yourself that. But at HBCU going to support him. The last time a black person went to support him at his inauguration, I think her name was Chrisette Michelle. Where is she, ho? Done this, Chrisette Michelle. She's gone. You know why? Because why the would you support somebody who would never support you, bitch? He don't like you. Maybe he got you there for janitorial services to clean up after the inauguration, bitch. But to go and sing for him and think you will be out here and have support from us No bueno. You understand me? Entiendo? So they got invited. I'm assuming they going, bitch. It befuddles me. Why the fuck would you do that? Who is the band director, bitch? I guess it ain't one band, one sound, bitch. Ain't nobody speaking up.
She done said the B word too many times, Nick. I can't do it no more. I can't do it. I was gonna let her live, but I can't do it. Now, I hate to say this and break it to you guys. You may not know this, but this girl probably is college educated. She probably went to school, got a degree somewhere, and working on somebody's job, and she talking like this. First of all, you can't understand half of what she said. She used the B word every 3 minutes. And these people are they like in a time machine. What year do you think this is, sis? What year do you think it is? A marching band going to the inauguration isn't there to support the president. They're there to represent their university at an inauguration. It doesn't matter who's getting selected or sworn in. They're there to participate in the festivities on behalf of their university. That's like when, I don't know, the WNBA, I don't even want to talk about them because they trash. The NBA, when the champion gets invited to the White House, they don't get invited to go support the president. It just so happened that the president invites them to do a little ceremonial thing because they're the national champs. That's how it works. So you're not endorsing the president by your presence there. College educated black women, some of them act just like this. Some of them like Candace Owens. Not a lot of them, but there's some of them like Candace Owens. A lot of them act like this. And you wonder why people criticize black folks and why they look at you crazy and they don't want to do stuff for you and they look side-eye you. Because people that are intelligent act like this. You cannot, you went to school and got a degree in stupidity. It bothers me that people still think like this. If somehow, I don't know, school got invited to play at the inauguration of Joe Biden, I mean, conservatives wouldn't care that much, I don't think. They'd be like, oh, that sucks or whatever, but they understand that you got invited, you got to go take advantage of it. Somebody that's a Chiefs fan ain't going to get mad at the Chiefs because they went to Joe Biden half dead self when they won the championship. It just baffles me. Somebody help these women, please. Somebody help the black community, please. And the first girl lying about HBCU funding. Donald Trump secured HBCU funding permanently. Something that Barack Obama never did. He want to cut school money for HBCUs and all this other stuff. Let's go to the next one. These people are stupid and I don't know what. New York City chaos continues. I don't know if you guys know about this. I haven't. I didn't know about this. I don't live in New York. But the New York Angels is a citizen patrol group known for their work in the 80s, having resumed patrol amid rising concerns over crime on the subway station or at the subway station. A woman who was stabbed by a maniac at Grand Central Terminal on Christmas Eve said that he came up from behind and punched her and that no one around her came to her aid after he plunged the knife into her neck. Another person, 26 years old, had just gotten off the 4 train around 10 p.m. and was headed to the administrative night job at the Roosevelt Hotel, which has been converted into a migrant shelter, when she was attacked. So I think, hold on, I guess this is the one. It's the same girl. So the 26-year-old was attacked with a knife and nobody helped her. We just saw the other lady get set on fire at the thing. You know, I would argue that we need more Daniel Pennies on these trains. If y'all had more Daniel Pennies, this stuff wouldn't have happened. I'll tell you this. Y'all get mad at me. Pull the clip up, Nick. If Daniel Penny was on the train or near the train where the young girl caught on fire, I think Daniel Penny would have tried to help her put the fire out, even if he'd have took his shirt off and tried to throw it over her. If you smother the fire, you'd be able to help the girl. One guy he's fanning the fire. Bro, do you know what fanning the fire? You know the saying, they fan in the fire? You fan in the fire, meaning you add an accelerant to the fire because oxygen makes fire grow. So you just blowing more oxygen on the fire, making it bigger on the girl. Just stupid. Who raising these boys? Take your shirt off. All the men take their shirts off and try to throw them over the top of her to smother the flame. Maybe that'll happen. But they didn't do nothing. They filming and looking at it, burned alive. Then the guy who did it just sitting there. Insane. Daniel Penny was there. He probably would have tried to help that girl put that fire out. And if Daniel Penny was there, he probably would have took a chance on trying to protect this woman who getting stabbed by a maniac. Anyway, roll the clip.
Two horrific incidents on the New York subway within a week of each other. As woman burned alive on New York City subway car, bystanders watched and filmed. Victim who was stabbed in the throat by a maniac at Grand Central Terminal says no one came to her aid. Here's what I said before the Daniel Penny verdict. Regardless of the verdict, nobody who's paying attention is ever stepping in to help again. And people will say, what happened to men? Why did nobody help? Until people like this no longer have the power to go after people like this, do not expect help. And wouldn't you know it, now there's a term for this. Critics warn of Daniel Penny effect after woman burned alive on New York City subway car as bystanders watched. Video of the horrifying murder showed several people standing by as the woman burned. The Daniel Penny effect. This was the easiest prediction to make. Here is the Democrats' shining star and once-in-a-lifetime talent, AOC, on Daniel Penny.
If we do not want violence on our subways, and the point of our justice system is a level of accountability to prevent a person who does not have remorse about taking another person's life. I mean, even people who have engaged in manslaughter or have taken a life accidentally express remorse. And so the fact that a person may express no remorse indicates that there's a risk that it may happen again. And if we do not want to unleash that level of violence, then we should exert a level of accountability to prevent that from happening again.
Imagine, people want this woman to run for president. Here's the truth, AOC. By exerting a level of accountability on Daniel Penny, you have stopped anyone from helping. It is not going to happen. So leaders of New York, here's how this can be fixed. Make it clear to people that if they step in and try to stop people like this, you will not go after them.
Stop it. Stop it. Hey, what the fuck, man? I just want to sit, man. Okay. Thank you.
This can be done immediately by creating a Daniel Penny Good Samaritan law, or by firing the people responsible for going after him and offering an immediate apology. Obviously, this will not happen, so do not complain when bystanders stand around and watch the city burn.
Hey, man, I can't argue with what homeboy just said. I wanted to argue, y'all heard my first statement, I wanted to argue that, is Nick up? I wanted to argue that we shouldn't have, or that people should be more bold like Daniel Penny. I almost wanted to argue that. But then that clip proved to me, I see why people don't want to jump in and do nothing. Because why would you go to jail for a problem that they allowed to happen? Now, I know you want to protect the woman. I probably couldn't watch it. I couldn't sit there and watch it. I may try to intervene like Daniel Penny did. I probably, in spite of that, because I think I'll be okay. If somebody's stabbing another person, right? I mean, this person is stabbing this person. I don't think there's no way you'll get in trouble over that. But I don't blame people for not getting involved. I always used to say this about domestic violence. People like, I heard Cam Newton say this. He say, man, if a man beating up a woman, I'm going to get involved. As a good man, just say in a perfect world, you should get involved. If you like a cat and you got 9 lives, get involved. But you ain't a cat, and it ain't a perfect world. I don't know if I'd get involved. I just don't know if it. I'm going to tell you, I've seen it too many times. I remember, I'll never forget, on New Year's Eve, Ladae in Tucson, Arizona, killed 3 people. And it all started from when somebody tried to intervene with him beating up a girl. When the girl wasn't his girlfriend, I think he just took her home from the bar or something, and he ended up beating up in the cab. I heard the 911 calls. The most haunting thing that anybody can listen to. This guy's on the phone saying, I'm going to do something if y'all don't bring the police. They like, don't do anything, sir. They're on their way. Y'all better do something. He beating her up. I'm going to do something. He gets out of the car. The thug knocked him out, ran him over like 5-6 times. He ran him over, backed over, ran him over, backed over. After he ran him over 5 or 6 times in the pickup truck, he gets out and just punches the guy. The guy's dead already. He just punches the guy just to no end. I think he punched him for probably 5 minutes. And then he killed the girl that was with him, and he ended up killing the girl that he was beating up. I think he killed 2 or 3 people that night. And you can hear him driving over these people in a 911 call as people are calling and screaming at the horrific sight. That man lost his life, got his girlfriend killed, and probably lost the kids and never see him again because he wanted to jump in and protect a woman who had no business bringing this nasty dude to her house. I've seen it happen, man. Some dude stabbing, got his girlfriend beaten up. You jump in, he shoots you in the chest. And then she go visit him in prison. She put money on his books. You dead. I know that's the compulsion if you see a woman getting beat that you may want to jump in. But I tell you what, you better think about it before you do it. Don't be too hastily on jumping into people's stuff, man. Because, unfortunately, these women get beat up by these men and they back with them. I'll tell y'all another story real quick. I went on this police call. And it was a woman who got knocked out by her boyfriend holding her granddaughter in her hands. So she's holding this baby, and this dude punches her so hard in the head, he knocks her unconscious while she has the baby in her hand. She wakes up to her daughter or something coming home and like, Mama, what happened? I get there, that lady had a knot on her forehead about that big. She had 3 of them. She had a big one, and she had 2 little ones that looked just like his knuckles hitting her right in the forehead. We go and find this guy. We looking for him. He's armed and dangerous is what she said. He's obviously criminal. He knocked her with the baby in her hand. Can't find him. He has expired license plates on a Suburban. I just so happened to go check on a lady later in the day after the call. I went back to the hospital to check on her, make sure she's not finna die from a brain contusion. So I go to check on her, and I hear 2 men arguing in the parking lot. And one of them was the suspect, arguing with her new boyfriend or whoever, wherever he was. So I see him, I chase him. We chase him down. He driving off. He gets out. We get him at gunpoint. This fool, y'all would not believe what he said. This is around the BLM stuff, right? This fool, we stop him, pull him out of gunpoint because she said he had a gun. He put his arms out the window. I'm a black man. Don't shoot me. I'm a black man. I ain't do nothing. I want to pull him out and curb stomp him right here on the thing. Because I know he beat that girl up, but now he acting like he a champ when he beat that girl up with the baby in her hand. But now he's scared. I'm scared. I don't know what to do, man. I ain't do nothing. I couldn't wait to take him to jail. I wanted him to start fighting. I was going to enjoy every minute of that. We ended up taking him to jail. I'm going to get to the good part. Y'all know where that truck was parked? The next day, I think he got out in a couple of days, back over her house. She's parked over her house. I drove by to check on her. I'm just driving by the street, just looking, make sure everything good. Make sure he there. And he walking out the house, getting ready to get in the truck with suspended tags on it. We would have shot that man or did all that stuff, got into a fight, life and death situation, and he back over out. And then I confronted her about it. I ain't gonna lie, I was one of those cops. I said, what you doing? We just did all that. He punched you in the head and you got him back over the house. Ma'am, you better not let that man back over this house. What did her kids say? When she got punched and they came to the scene, they didn't even look at her. They go, oh, she do this all the time. Don't go risk your life without knowing what's going on. Enough of story time. Let's get to another topic here. Transgender women or men in women's prisons. It would be comical if it wasn't real. I don't know how California respects or allows these transgender people to do what they're doing. And I don't even know if they really trans. You think they trans? I don't think they trans. I think they finna go to jail and they horny. What would you do if you finna go to prison for 5-6 years? I say I'm trans too. I know I'm trans. I want to be with the women. I don't want to be on the bottom of some man that doing life in prison. I'm not gonna be down there. Big Tony in there just trying to take all your innocence. I'm a woman. I'll cut this fur, put a wig on. I'm a woman. I want to be in there with the women. They let these people get in there with the women and get them pregnant. Nick, give me the clip. Does he look trans to you? He ain't even trying. Tony, you tripping. Tony ain't even shaved his facial hair. This is a transgender woman that you gotta call their pronouns out. Of course he's trans now. And I don't know if it's this one or the other one, that getting girls pregnant in there, raping them and everything. It's him. They said it's him. Y'all cool with that? You cool with this guy just telling you one day, I'm a girl. Where you want to be housed at? I feel more comfortable with the women. Yeah, of course you feel comfortable with the women. And then after he do them in, they still let him stay in there. Let's continue. I think his name Tremaine, right? Is this Tremaine? Or is this Christopher? Yes. This is Tremaine. So Tremaine Carroll, a biological male, clearly, identifies as a female, was housed in a Central California women's facility under SB 132, which allow incarcerated transgender, non-binary, or intersex persons or people to request to be housed and searched in a manner consistent with their gender identity, accused of raping multiple female inmates, including impregnating one of them. Oh my gosh. Legal issues that Carroll's transfer raised concerns about safety and exploitation of SB 132, which requires no medical or psychological evidence for gender identity claims. These people, I don't know how people live with themselves. Carroll has been since transferred to a men's prison now. So it takes him... Don't even try. He do his little thing, mess over the women, and then y'all take him back to the men's side. You should have known he didn't want to be a woman for real when you saw him the first time. Also, prosecutors argue the use of she, her pronouns in court complicates legal proceedings and re-traumatizes victims. So I'm assuming that the prosecutor is saying, y'all can't be calling him she, her. Because clearly he not a she, her. And by making people call him she, her, is traumatizing the victims that he took advantage of. There's another one. Is this a video? Yes. I think I explained it pretty good. Let's play the video anyway. Roll the clip.
A convicted criminal who served time at the women's prison in Chowchilla is charged with raping fellow inmates. A Madera County judge says Tremaine Carroll must be referred to with she, her pronouns. But the district attorney is pushing back because the 52-year-old Carroll is a biological male, and the decision could impact the pursuit of justice. Court records show Carroll was convicted in Los Angeles County in 1993 for aggravated kidnapping for the purpose of ransom or to commit another crime. Carroll is now serving time in a men's prison as this rape case moves forward.
Action News reporter Brianna Willis spoke with the district attorney about the potential impact of the pronoun ruling.
A Madera County judge ruled this week 52-year-old state prisoner Tremaine Carroll must be referred to with she/her pronouns because Carroll identifies as a woman. But the district attorney believes the defendant is abusing the system.
This is a person who's not a woman in any sense of the word.
In March, DA Sally Moreno charged Carroll for rape allegedly committed while incarcerated at the Central California Women's Facility in Chowchilla.
After his first cellmate became pregnant and was moved to Los Angeles, two other cellmates of his complained that he had raped them. So we have filed rape charges against this inmate.
Moreno says the ruling regarding pronouns impacts her ability to prosecute the case.
This is a particular issue in this case because it's confusing to the jury. In California, rape is a crime that has to be accomplished by a man.
Supervising Deputy DA Eric Dutemple says it's
Hold on,
also unfair to the victims.
Did I just hear that right? Is she stupid or I heard it wrong? Or the law is wrong? They said that rape has to be, pretty much acted upon in order to prosecute by a man. So a woman can't rape another woman? A man can't rape another man? What is happening here? Maybe I'm tripping. That's what she said, though. She said it's tricky because it has to be a man. I don't. California Road Club.
It's just absolutely insane that a victim would have to get on the stand and police their pronouns and their usage when trying to recite one of the most scariest times in their lives.
Carroll was allowed to serve time in a women's prison despite being a biological male because of Senate Bill 132, the Transgender Respect Agency and Dignity Act, which took effect in 2021. It allows inmates to be housed with the gender they identify as. The CDCR website points out state law prohibits discrimination based on gender identity.
There's no psychological evaluation that needs to be done. This person doesn't need to be on cross-gender hormones. They don't need to be signed up for transgender surgery. They don't even need a significant psychological evaluation regarding gender confusion. The mere statement is enough.
The CDCR has since relocated Carroll to Salinas Valley State Prison for men. We reached out to CDCR about the case. They sent us a statement about Senate Bill 132, adding that they thoroughly investigate all allegations of sexual abuse, but they do not comment on cases in current litigation. Moreno says Carroll fired the defense attorney handling the case and has chosen to move forward with self-representation in court. Carroll's next court date is set for January 14th. Brianna Willis, ABC.
Thank you, Brianna. Can y'all believe what you just heard? They literally said that it's just mere request. I mean, if he wasn't such a nasty dog, he probably would have had a good time. I mean, if I go to prison, I want to spend the prison with the women. I went to a women's prison. I haven't gone to a male prison. I was at a women's prison, and it don't seem that crazy like men's prison look. They seem a lot more chill. I was like, it looked like a camp, like a summer camp. They all outside. Now, this may be a different kind of prison. Maybe there's a maximum security prison that's crazy like the men's prison. But if I had to argue, I bet men's prison is way more violent than female prison. Why? Because men are way more violent than women, generally speaking. I mean, most of these women that's in women's prison probably went to jail for a man. They got caught up with drug dealing with him. They driving the car while he thugging. They got caught with his weed on them. You know, something. I bet 80% of women in prison got something to do with a man. The other 20 crazy, and they done something crazy. Maybe they not crazy, or maybe they are crazy. They done something crazy. But the majority of them ain't in there for no real violent stuff. It's mostly men that commit murders and all this crazy stuff you see is mostly men. You got a couple women in there crazy. They bat crazy. They killing their husband and eating them and stuff and chopping them up. There's a few of them that do it. I've seen the shows, right? There's a whole program out there like Woman Scorn or something like that. It's a murder show. I forget what it's called. Murdering Wives or something like that. They be poisoning their husbands, doing all kinds of stuff. So there's about 20% of them in there like that. The rest of them in there because of dude in there. But I can't. I would love to go to jail in California. I'm not gonna lie. I will never do this. I'm a good Christian man. But if somehow I went off the boat and I quit YouTube and I went to California and I went to prison, I'm trans. I ain't got nothing to lose. What I got to lose? And if you lay low, they ain't gonna do nothing to you. This fool raping and impregnating women. That's the only reason why he got switched. If it wasn't for him raping people, he would still be there. And you probably get a couple chicks that want to hook up with you. Then you good. I don't condone it, but the fact that that's a possibility is the craziest thing I ever heard in my life. Whoever passed that bill to make that a law should go to jail and be immediately barred from ever running for office ever again. There's no way that you sat down and said SB 132 and you looked at it, you evaluated it, and you didn't consider prison. You just assumed people weren't going to do it. Is that what this is? Somebody told homeboy when he was going to jail, you could just say you're a girl. They're going to let you in. He a girl, raping girls. He'd have kept going, I guess, if they wouldn't have got pregnant. They found out because the girl was pregnant. They know she can't get pregnant just sitting there. She didn't slip on a tray lunch and get pregnant. They're like, oh, it's probably him. It's probably she, her. She, her is a cellmate. She's pregnant now. It must have been that she, her. I wish they can. I wish you can gamble in prison. Who got her pregnant? I put my life on it. It was him or her. Yeah, no, the one with the braids, with the beard, her. Yeah, the one that looked like your uncle, her. That's the one. Oh my gosh. There's another one. We got a video for the other one or just that one? There's another one. Come on. Nick finna pull it up. Come on. Christopher Scott Williams. Now at least he tried to pull his ponytail backwards. Biological man with a violent sexual offense history was transferred to a women's prison accused of repeated sexual assault and stalking a female cellmate. It says, let's see, the victim is suing the state, claiming violations of her constitutional rights and inadequate safeguards under prison policy. And this was in Washington. At least homeboy shaved his beard and pulled his hair back. But he still looked like Hillbilly Tony or somebody. You still look at the chin. Look at that gobble gobble. Women don't have a chin like that. He probably 6'5". They should all go to jail for that. This the party that claimed that they are here to support women. We support women. We support women. And y'all voted for a racist and a rapist. And they let men go up into prison and diddle them women. Don't even got to get no medical nothing. Don't even have to be taking hormones. They said they don't even have to take hormones. You don't have to do nothing. We already talked about Don Lemon. Here's another one. The Green Goblin. Disney is wrong for this one. I'm not even a Spider-Man guy. My son liked Miles Morales. They had to make a black Spider-Man. When I was growing up, Spider-Man was white. He was a white kid. And now they got a white one and a black one. Why can't you just make a new character? I guess Miles Morales is a new Spider-Man character. But anyway, I'm cool with it. I say Miles Morales is cool. Now, somehow, Disney has either, and I know the answer to this, I was hoping to get him out of trouble by saying, maybe, just maybe, Norman is wearing blackface. I thought maybe he was wearing blackface. The man got the same features. He's just a black man now. Now, there ain't no real reason why the Goblin got to turn into a black man. I ain't never in my life when I saw the Green Goblin when I was a kid growing up watching Spider-Man. When I was watching that show, I didn't think twice that man was a white man. Did you? Have anybody ever thought about it and be like, wow, Spider-Man is a white kid? I never thought about Spider-Man was Spider-Man. Batman is Batman. I ain't thought nothing about, I'm not identifying with Batman. It's a cartoon. It ain't real. I want to be, that's messed up, bro. Why can't Batman be black? All of that is fake. They made it up. It's all a made up thing. Nobody really black anyway because it ain't a real character. These ain't based on real stories. This ain't based on real people, okay? He's a made up little thing. He can go underground. There's Batmobiles and stuff, okay? It's fake. I ain't never in my life was like, man, that ain't right. Ain't nobody black. Spider-Man. Why can't we at least get Green Goblin? So you get the bat. And then let me tell y'all this. Black people complain, not the real black people. I'm talking about the ones that, I don't know what happened to their brain. Somebody didn't, some second cousins, first cousins or something that happened. Some of them black people, them first cousin black people, they will get mad because they didn't have no black characters. They make Green Goblin black and they mad because the black man is the enemy. They mad because the black man the bad guy. Now they go, you should have, why you ain't make him a good guy? The black guy always got to be the bad person. Green Goblin, they crazy. So now this is what we got. Norman Osborn, also known as Green Goblin, first appeared in Amazing Spider-Man number 14, published July 19th of 64. 64. And now it's a black guy. I forget his name. Now it's a black guy. I talk about Miles Morales. I forget the black guy's name now. Let me see if he's in here. Oh, yeah, it's Coleman Domingo. So now Coleman Domingo is going to voice the Green Goblin. Now they may as well make him Black Goblin. And Zeno Robinson. I think so. I guess it's dueling voices. The Department of Icon depiction of Osborn as a calculated villain sparked criticism from fans who preferred the classic interpretation of the character. Can't please them all, man. I just want to say this real quick. I don't think I'm going to say too much about it, but Donald Trump backed Mike Johnson for Speaker of the House. That's why I don't play with politics, man. Politics burn you out. I thought Mike Johnson was the enemy. That's why people always ask me, they say, Brandon, what do you think about the Speaker of the House? What do you think about the omnibus bill? I say, I don't have no opinion, man. I have no idea what to think about this. Because out of one side of their mouth, they say Mike Johnson is the enemy of the people and he evil and he a rhino and all this other stuff. And then Donald Trump go out and endorse him. But they get into a conundrum because Donald Trump is our guy. So are you willing to say our guy's wrong? Same thing with the H-1B visas. You get into a pickle when you start saying that like Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy are evil, because then you have to admit that Donald Trump picked the evil men that you claiming. Anyway, let me play this clip real quick of Mike Johnson, and that's all I'm going to talk about with Mike Johnson. Roll it. We don't have sound. I don't think there's any sound. On the live? All right, y'all got the gist of Mike Johnson. Okay, let me move on to something else. I want to play this clip from Slim Thug real quick. While I'm on the subject of black people. You said what? Oh, he's going to get the Slim Thug clip? Okay. All right, this is going to be the last one before I get to some super chats and some Q&A, but Slim Thug. Now, I don't have a lot of listen. I'm from Texas. So I grew up in the Slim Thug era. For those of you who don't know, Slim Thug is a prolific Houston rapper. Slim Thug said something stupid the other day, and I couldn't believe it. I think he was talking bad about Donald Trump or something, or white and all this other stuff. So I was mad at him the other day. But then I guess he came back and said something that made sense. And you can never jump on the bandwagon with some of these guys because they'll say something that makes sense today and they'll be a hypocrite tomorrow. Slim Thug was the OG. I used to always bang Slim Thug. Pause. I used to always listen to Slim Thug's music. The kids just mess me. I used to always listen to Slim Thug's music, right? He's a great musician. Roll the clip.
And at the end of the day, it's 2025. We can't blame white folks no more. We gotta let that go, kid. Them people, that wasn't even these people. That was some people before them. So at the end of the day, everybody showed us they can do it from scratch. So we can't be waiting on nobody to give us nothing. Everybody just gotta do it. No matter where you come from. You gotta do it from scratch. I ain't have shit at me now, so if I could have did it, you could have did it now. We gotta stop making excuses. Stop waiting on motherfuckers. We gotta take advantage of it. We gotta be happy on purpose, doing shit that make us happy. Great playlist, pre-workout, like I played this morning. So we need that song to get us right, get us in the mood, to play our favorite songs. It's kind of hard to be mad when you're listening to your favorite songs, huh? It's kind of raw dog life, kid. And figure that shit out. I don't know for sure, man. If I f*** up, I'm going to learn how I f*** up, and I'm going to move on the next day and move forward. You feel me? Learn as I go, man. I f*** up. Take accountability. Don't lie either. That's the worst shit to do. Nah, that wasn't me. I ain't do that, and blame it on somebody else when people know you was you. Now we don't believe you. Now you ain't a person of accountability. Now we know you lie. Just say, man, you know what? This is my first time I fucked up on that one, kid. Now I know how I fucked up, though, because I should have did it like this, but now I got it. So, you know what I'm saying? My bad. I got it. I'm going to figure it out. I got it this time. It ain't going to happen again. That's what motherfuckers want to hear. Don't hear no lie. They don't want to hear no, man, you ain't, I don't say nothing about it. Just let us find out you fucked up later. Nah, we want motherfuckers to say, man, I fucked up, man. But,
I guess that's the end. He was cussing. Boy, that boy can cuss, boy. He was cussing every 5 seconds. But I agree with his sentiment, right? I agree with the sentiment. You stop blaming white people. If the white people is your blame. Stop blaming your mama if your mama is your blame. Stop blaming your girlfriend, your ex, your coaches. Stop blaming people. Because to be honest, in order for you to be successful, first, honesty is one. The second one is that you got to be self-reflective. You ain't never going to get nowhere if you keep blaming everybody else. This is the thing that get people a lot. Make sure you monitor how you think. If every time you open your mouth, somebody else is the problem, you the problem. If everybody you talk to is a problem, it's probably you. It's a common denominator. It's a thing in math called the common denominator. There may be a little different context, but you are the common denominator in your life. If things are going well, it's probably because you're doing well. You're being kind to people. You have your faith in God, all that stuff lined up right. You believe in yourself. You know, you're in a good state of mind. But if everything crumbling, it's probably you. Maybe you picking the wrong people to be around. You picking the wrong friends. Don't blame your boyfriend. You the one picked him. Oh, he a cheater. You knew he was a cheater because he cheated on his girlfriend to be with you. And you mad because he a cheater now because he cheated on you. But you wasn't a cheater when you cheated on that other girl. Okay. I'm just saying, look in the mirror, man. Don't blame your pastor because you ain't getting a good education on the Bible. Go pick your own Bible up and read it. You should be doing that anyway. Pick your own Bible up and read it. There's explanations for why things go south. It ain't all you. But at the end of the day, you need to put it in perspective. All right, let me get to some super chats real quick. I know some people did some super chats. I'm gonna try to read them right off the screen. And shout out to everybody that's on live. Make sure you hit the like button. I appreciate it. Maybe one of these days, I'm gonna be consistent enough to get you guys a live stream time where we can just go right on the time. All right, we're trying to pull up the super chats real quick. I'm gonna try to make them quick and read them. Also, we're almost to our goal. Well, not a goal. We already reached our goal. But if you want to help at the end of the year donation to Prison Fellowship, great organization. I mean, they help service 250,000 kids. They also they giving out, I think, 150,000 Bibles to inmates. They have these cool courses. It's a year-long course that people go through with Prison Fellowship, the prisoners who are incarcerated. They help them become better people. Help them do exactly what I was telling you. Have personal responsibility and accountability and find Jesus. I was in the class at Perryville. I saw with my own eyes the impact that they're making on the lives of them prisoners. I almost teared up. I didn't want to cry in front of all them girls, all right? But it was heartwarming to see the education, the godly perspective that those young women are getting at Prison Fellowship. So if you want to donate to Prison Fellowship, we'll put the link in the description section. We already helped almost 5,000 kids at the Angel Tree Christmas gifts. I wish I could have some pictures to show you guys because all the kids had a chance to get their presents, open them, celebrate, have a good time party. We'll host the party next year. But if you want to be a part of that, you want to give a last-minute donation, our goal is to raise X amount of dollars, which is what you'll see on the little banner. I don't know how much money that'll be. But it's only like 32 times 30. Yeah, what would 32 times 30 be? 900 something? Yeah, I think we probably just raising $900 left. So we were able to raise, I don't know, $150,000 for that organization, which have been tremendous if you put the numbers together. And so we only need, $1,000 more or something like that raised, which is a goal of ours. We already raised enough. So if you guys want to participate in it before the year end, go on down there and give a donation. And I appreciate everybody that have given a donation. Anybody that did the $5,000 price match, we're going to get you out here. We're going to go to dinner, okay? Love you guys. Let me do some super chats. Dustin, I'm finna ban Dustin from commenting. Dustin says, ASU is about to smash Texas. Remarks complete. I'm going to put some money on that one. Staten, let's see. Thanks so much for the super chat. Tell my brother don't back off. Happy New Year. Appreciate it. Let's see. Sarah, thanks so much. 5K watching. Hit the like button. Appreciate it. Let's see. Authentically Kennedy, thank you so much for the super chat, and thank you so much for joining live again. You've always been a great supporter of the channel. So great to meet you. Thank you so much for dinner. I hope we can all do it again soon. Happy New Year's, everyone. Yeah, God bless you. Thank you so much, Kennedy. Let's see. Warren, thanks so much for the super chat. Salutations, officer. Let's get into this 2025. Let's do it. Lemon is such a wussy. In my day, he get beat up for that laughing and is that queering at MAGA? And oh my God, he. I'm laughing back. Trump POTUS won 2025. Tommy, thank you for that super chat. Let's see. Sile, I think. Thank you for the super chat. It says interesting theory I saw on Elon thing. He has others run his account from time to time, and the blow up was from one of them. It would be funny if it's true. I doubt it. I think he run his own thing. And I think people get offended, like him thinking about H-1B visa. And let me just say this real quick about Elon. And I told my wife this because she was mad. She was peed off at Elon and what Vivek said. And I said, baby, just take a step back, because I do know how I feel to get emotionally charged when people come against you and you may say things that you may not necessarily mean to that degree. Same thing with Vivek Ramaswamy. You got to think he's an Indian. So he has a high expectation or high perception of Indian culture, right? He probably come from upper echelon Indian culture. So he's not looking at the ones pulling in the street and 400,000 people on top of each other in the worst city that nobody would ever want to live in. Probably can't live in there. Third world country type stuff. So he probably come from the upper echelon. But then when you see people talking so much trash on social media, as a human, it triggers you. And I think he got triggered and he overly defended the Indian culture, and people didn't like to hear that. Anyway, Chris said, I moved from New York to Arizona on 3/2023, just in time. I appreciate it. I love Arizona, man. This is my favorite place to live. I don't think I want to live anywhere else. I grew up in Texas. I love Texas culture. It made me who I am. I'll never live in Texas. I'll visit. I'll go stay out there a little bit. I'll never live in Texas. There's no season in Texas that make you want to go to Texas. It is the most radical, crazy weather patterns I've ever seen, and I couldn't wait to get out of there when I was 18. You can get a tornado today, a sunny day tomorrow, blizzard the next day, and a tornado cane the next day. That means a hurricane and a tornado at the same time. Anyway, let's see. New York have the worst end of year ever. Oh, I know, boy. They got people burned alive on the train. I think that's the third person they got. But they got the person that burned alive. Then they got another thing that happened. I think somebody set themselves on fire or something in there. Then they got the stabbing. It's crazy. Leslie, thanks so much for the super chat. Thank you so much for resetting the moral compass the left tried to knock out a balance daily. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I love that. Jennifer, thank you for joining the Tatum Squad. Leslie, thank you for joining the Tatum Squad. Let's see. Adam has been a member for a month. Thank you for joining the Tatum Squad. If I tell everyone I'm 6'5", 250 with a six-pack, I guess it's true. Hey, tell them I'm 6'5", 250, I identify as a woman. Get in jail and go to work. I'm just playing. You can go to hell doing all that. All right, let's see. Lee, what's up, Lee? I think that's Lee, the bodybuilder. I think that is Lee Priest. Anyway, it says great show. Let's see. Great shows all year. Have a great new year to you and your family. Hey, God bless you, brother. Thank you for all the support, man. You buy a lot of merch, man. I appreciate it. And I would say happy new year. Yeah, happy new year to you, your family. God bless you, man. And may you just kill it for many more years to come. I know you probably retired bodybuilding, but you know what I'm saying. Jonathan, thanks so much for the super chat. Proud Trump voter and supporter. I love that. Jeff, what version of the Bible should I start reading? I think the ESV. Nick said the Trump Bible.
No, he said Catholic. I said Trump Bible.
You might as well read the Trump Bible. He said Catholic Bible. The Catholics got a Bible? Oh, yeah. That y'all use the NSBV something. What is it? New American Standard Bible. So, I ain't gonna lie, I'm not a Catholic, and sometimes I'm critical of the Catholics. Sometimes, but I do think the New English Bible or New whatever, I think that's a good Bible. New American Standard Bible is a good Bible. I've done a little research on that, and the ESV. I think the ESV is the best Bible, but also the New American Standard Bible is good too. I think I don't read the NIV. I would never read the NIV, and I read the King James before the NIV. To be quite honest, let me give y'all just a perspective on how this works. The Bible translational lens. You have on this side the most strict linear translation, and on this side is literally paraphrased. So they have a linear Bible that's written and directly translated into English without all the sentence structures or anything like that. And unless you know the original language, it's hard to interpret that, right? Because the English is not going to line up, because if you look at your Bible, the and commas and stuff are not in the Greek or in Hebrew. So they had to put those words in there to make a complete sentence. So over here on the linear Bible, you're going to get the linear translation without punctuation or and it and some of those additives that they add to make a complete English sentence. So that's there. And then over here is the Message Bible. I don't know if you ever heard of the Message Bible. That's literally a biblical paraphrase. So here's your spectrum. NIV is somewhere around here. This is the most linear, word for word. This is paraphrase. NIV is somewhere around here. The ESV and the King James is right around here. The New American Standard Bible is like right around here, closer to direct translation. It gets from direct translation obviously they have to put punctuation in there and make a complete sentence. Then it begins to be paraphrased to a certain degree, right? They start taking words and taking alternative meanings that aren't generally used, and they start making NIV to make the sentence structure more palatable. Okay? Now, over here in the King James ESV is scriptural, historical context. So the King James is not as foolproof as the ESV, and here's why. Because the scrolls that they use for the King James are more modern than the scrolls that they use for ESV and the New American Standard. Once they found the Dead Sea Scrolls, they found multiple copies. I think 40,000 copies or so of the New Testament that they're able to piece together, and now they have a lot more of the scripture and a lot more of its authentic context. Therefore, the ESV is a little more of an authentic context or authentic scripture than the King James. There is things in the King James that had to be removed when they found the Dead Sea Scrolls because they were either put into the Bible incorrectly on accident or they were done maliciously. And when they found the Dead Sea Scrolls and they got older text, the scripture that they had to go off of when they translated was a lot better and more accurate. That's why I say ESV over King James. And they had to remove some stuff from the King James, which was interesting. Okay, there's more. Do Vivek and Elon, let me look at it. Do Vivek and Elon get the Americans have to come first? Okay, I get what you're saying. All emotions aside, Happy New Year's. Now, 100%. I think that we're arguing different things, right? I think that Elon Musk and Vivek view America as everybody who wants to be an American. Americans view Americans as people who were born here, right? When you don't have the context of migrating somewhere, you don't see it that way. My ancestors came here probably on a ship several hundred years ago. So I'm an American soil. I don't know, 5 generations of Americans. I don't know how many other generations there were that I'm a part of. And so when I say America first, I'm thinking of the context of American soil born people here that have generations that have been here in America. People that are foreigners that became an American, either second generation, first generation American or whatever, they see America as immigrants coming here, assimilating to America and making America great. Because that's kind of what America is about, right? The Italians came here, the Irish came here, Chinese came here, all kind of people came here and they flourished here, and that's America. And so I think that they do believe America first, they just see it different. Because when you're thinking about competing nationally, it's very different than competing internationally. When you think about competing in America and all the best and brightest in America, but then when you think about what China is getting and all these other countries that we compete with in the technological era, we want to get the best on our team. And they can be here for 3 years and go home. Or they be for 6 and go home. Or they can stay if they're great enough like Elon. Anyway, we need to make English official language in the U.S. 100%. I think, we can have a lot of languages. English needs to be the official language. I remember I used to argue with somebody like, English is the official language. Technically, English is not the official language of the United States of America. I think America don't have an official language. I wish I can be the president. I'd be crazy. Y'all, I sound crazy now, but by the time I become president, everything I'm saying gonna sound so sane. It's gonna be incredible. I don't know why the president wouldn't just be. I don't know if the president has the right to do this, but you would think he could sign an executive order and say, the national language of the United States is English. You can speak whatever you want, English. You go down the street, you can't read no street signs. That's on you. We're not making it in English and Spanish. This is not Israel. Israel have stuff in Arabic and in Hebrew and English. No, English. You better get you a translator on your phone and put it up to that sign. You look at that menu. I get mad when I hear it on the phone. I ain't gonna even lie. For English, press. Now, yeah, I'm in America. I don't need to press no buttons. English. For Spanish, too bad you can't hear them. You learn English. I'm joking a little bit. I do understand the nuance. We have to bring people into the fold. But I'm definitely not. Did we do Scott Jennings? What was Scott Jennings? Oh, okay. All right, I'm going to finish it with this. I said I was going to finish, but Nick told me I got to do one more video or one more segment. We're going to do the segment for all of you who hung in there with me or have come back to the live stream. We're going to finish this segment with Scott Jennings, our favorite. Now, Scott Jennings, we need to make Scott Jennings like a UFC belt. Like he's the champion of whooping these people on CNN. Scott Jennings single-handedly, them hiring Scott Jennings probably destroyed their ratings because he makes them look so bad on television. And I'm not just saying that because I'm conservative, because some conservatives go in there and lay an egg. Scott Jennings be going there and spanking them, and they paying him to do it. Roll the clip.
I mean, he should have never run for re-election. Mike is exactly right. When he got asked about regrets, the fact that he didn't say, I regret that 13 American service members lost their lives in Afghanistan, to me, that he can't muster the courage to say that now is a disgrace. Beyond that, he's leading office in disgrace. I mean, you get less than 20% of the American people now that think the country is on the right track. That's a lower number than it even was on Election Day. And what's happened since Election Day? He pardoned his son, Hunter. He commuted the sentences of a bunch of evil killer thugs on federal death row. Not all of them, just the ones that he wanted to. Didn't even make a principled stand on that. And then he went on vacation, which is where he is right now. This is a failed, disgraced president, and he has never, ever owned up to what happened in Afghanistan and the role that played in destroying those families' lives and destroying his own presidency.
So I think Donald Trump needs to say, I'm sorry that 1 million people died in COVID while I was telling people to shine light in their bodies and take disinfectant.
That's false.
No, that's exactly what he said. He said you should shine light in your own
Google it after
body.
the show. Again,
right?
I go through this with you guys.
Donald Trump should sue him today. Donald Trump, if you're watching this, sue this man. He said that you told people to shine light through their body and take disinfectant. Donald Trump never told nobody to do that. Sue this man. Keep going.
Disinfectant.
All right, we can fact check.
He needs to say he's sorry for that.
He speculated about the effect of light on the virus and disinfectant.
Right. While the doctor stood
Publicly,
behind him.
And
you know what? People told us to stand 6 feet apart and wear masks, and that didn't exactly solve anything.
Can you believe this for a minute? We do got a highlight tape of Scott Jennings. I kind of want to finish the year with that little highlight tape so you can see more of it. But let me just say that I just want to point this out real quick before we go to Scott Jennings' highlight tape. Donald Trump had nothing to do with that many people. Like, it boils my blood that they would even utter that. Because Nancy Pelosi said, when Donald Trump, I just think people just don't remember anything. Nick, we got to put together a clip, Dylan. We got to put together a clip of this. When Donald Trump first came out and said, we're shutting down travel to Europe, we're shutting down travel to China, Nancy Pelosi and them came on television and said he's xenophobic and he's a racist. Racist travel ban is what they claim. Nancy Pelosi said, come down to Chinatown. It's all good. There's nothing to worry about. There's nothing to worry about. Because she was saying Donald Trump was fear-mongering against Chinese people by shutting down travel to China, which we know that's where the virus came from. She said, come to Chinatown. She was encouraging people during the time in which that we should have probably been distancing or whatever they claimed we were supposed to be doing. And instead they called him a racist. And now I swear I lived through this, and you guys did too. Don't forget it. He started out saying we're shutting the country down. When we had one case in America, Donald Trump shut the country down. He recommended it. Now, you can do whatever you want to do. The president can't shut anything down. The states have the right to stay open if they want to. He recommended it through Dr. Fauci. They shut everything down 2 weeks to slow the spread. They did all this stuff. They said Donald Trump was a racist over it. And then all of a sudden, they start. We know what they did. I can go over this 100 times. I remember doctors were telling me that they were lying on the death certificate. If you had any symptoms of flu-like symptoms, they just said you had COVID. They weren't able to test all these people. They say you had COVID. They take the test. The tests have false positives all the time. All of that is test positive. They never tell you how many people tested negative. They never tell you how many people got it and didn't die. They only tell the death toll. Only the death people, the people that died. 5,000 people dying every day, but 200,000 people are totally fine. Then they had the asymptomatic. They tell you to wear a mask, not to wear a mask, social distance, none of that stuff work. It's all fake. They made it all up. Just about. And they tell me Donald Trump is the problem. 1 million people died. I don't even think 1 million people died. They full of sugar, honey, iced tea. Roll the clip. Highlight tape of Scott Jennings whooping that. Roll this clip.
Oh, in private meetings, I've seen Joe Biden do cartwheels and handstands while doing trigonometry while solving all the nation's problems. We now know that every single person who said that has been lying to the American people. One day Donald Trump couldn't hold a glass of water and we had like every medical person coming out of the woodwork. Should we have the 25th Amendment? Joe Biden could barely walk up the stairs.
And I would argue no proof that tech companies colluded to do this. This is nonsense, and he knows it. No, I'm sorry.
There was a major institutional effort.
No, there was
to suppress
absolute dozens and
Was the New
dozens
York
of
Post
them.
thrown off Twitter?
They were, and then they. Scott, let me try again.
The story off Twitter.
Scott,
let's let Kara finish, because she's actually done. She's done the work.
It's really hard to deal with you.
She's done the work.
No.
If you called Kentucky Fried Chicken and said, I'd like to interview Colonel Sanders. Now, his face is on the bucket. He doesn't make the chicken anymore. In fact, he's not even alive anymore. This is what the Democrats are asking people to do. Vote for the face on the bucket. He was fine and he's strong and then he's fine today. Nobody believes that. And I just think at some point, then why isn't he running?
It's organic. The entire Kamala Harris campaign has been organic. And so now we're...
What? Organic. This is the literal most manufactured presidential campaign ever. She didn't even run. Well, quite a few people will vote for Harris, so I think we should all open up a head examination doctor's office. We'll have plenty of people to...
In all those categories.
A lot of men think Democrats care more about dudes who want to become women than dudes who just want to be dudes.
Well,
It's pretty apparent the disdain with which they hold half of the country in.
That's not true.
That's crazy, Scott.
I'm sorry. I'm just reading the journalism. I'm pro-journalist here. I'm reading the journalism about Hunter Biden running the ship here. She's like a true double threat. You know, she's terrible on her feet when she gets unexpected questions, and simultaneously, she can't even answer the expected questions. You give me too much credit. I wish I had some billionaire friends. You know, what's a mistake you've made? Nothing. What's a weakness you have? Nothing. What's the first law you want to pass? Nothing. What's a policy difference between you and Joe Biden? Nothing. Over and over and over. Empty, empty, empty. If she were an animal, she'd be a duck-billed platitude.
But look,
It's a total... In Walls himself, who gave the most disastrous response to a question about his own dishonesty about being in Tiananmen Square that I've ever heard. Effectively, what he has said is, sorry, guys, I'm too dumb to tell the truth. Fabrications in his own resume. And his answer was essentially, me no understand words good. I mean, he's a buffoon.
Kamala Harris and Tim Walz believes is that it's none of your business what women do with their body. And so stay out of our doctor's offices and stay out of our bedrooms.
Well, I guess I'll have to speak up for the babies. They're not here to speak for themselves. Lord have mercy.
Oh, Scott Jennings. He ought to get Player of the Year, man. I mean, God dang. Is there an award for him whooping these Democrats? Because there's nobody on their channel that can hold him accountable but him. Anyway, all right, y'all. I've been running my mouth long enough. Hope you enjoy the show. I'll be back tomorrow. Is tomorrow Christmas Eve? New Year's Eve. I'm not Christmas. New Year's Eve. So tomorrow, New Year's Eve, we'll be back for a short show. And then I'm off on Christmas. And after Christmas, we'll be back. I mean, New Year's. I keep saying Christmas. New Year's. It is a new year. Christmas came and went so fast, I feel like I want to have two of them. But anyway, New Year's Eve, I'm here. Off for the new year. Celebrating 2025. And then I'm back the day after New Year, which is the 2nd. And then we'll be back from that point, jumping right into 2025 and doing our thing. So tomorrow will be the last show of the year. And I don't know, I ain't got nothing special planned, but we're just going to talk about the news like we always do. But I do appreciate you guys coming on and supporting us. Thank you for all the sponsors that sponsor the show. I mean, I'm very grateful. And I want you guys to know this from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate you. Those of you who have been watching me from the very beginning, know how much I've evolved. When I say evolved, I've gotten better at the way I speak, how quickly I speak. I've had radio shows. I've done a lot of stuff in the last 5 or 6 years. And some of you guys been with me from the very beginning. I wish somehow I can throw you a party or something, but there'll be 1 million people. So I ain't got that much money, God dog it. But anyway, I appreciate you guys. And also for the advertisers, man, I appreciate the advertisers. Just so you guys know, I will not waste my time even entertaining people that want to advertise with us if it's not something I believe in, something I take, something I think is good, because I don't have to, I don't have to do it for money. YouTube do very well. But there are advertisers that are like-minded. I think that they're great companies. I use their products. I believe in their products. And those are going to be people you see me endorse. And those are the people who sponsor the show because they believe in conservative values and they believe in conservatives, being sustainable. The craziest thing is if I was a leftist lunatic, I'd have 50,000 more advertisers. But I don't need them. I only want people that believe in what we believe in. And if you don't, go advertise somewhere else. Anyway, God bless y'all. God bless America. I'll see y'all tomorrow. I'm out of here.
Oh, the land of the free and the home of the